Should I look at my camera up above or should I look at you?
Should definitely look at your camera.
Okay.
Let's see. I believe we are live. Let me just make sure. Oh, yay. Okay, now we are live. Hello, everybody. Welcome to Sheba's Spice Rack. This is a sex talk show where we have special guests. And I am so excited today to have my special guest, Charla Hathaway. Welcome, Charla.
Hey, Sheba, you look marvelous. I love those blue eyes and dark hair. You look great, honey.
Oh, you're such a flirt. Um, thank you, and welcome to my talk show. So this is a great way to get information to my audience. This show is about dating and sex and relationships and so much more. We've had some really lovely guests come on and talk about some different things. And today, I'm so excited to share with everybody about the work that you do. And also, you are quite a pioneer. I feel like you're one of the people who have paved the ways. Tell
I'm the
me what it
sexy
was
grandma.
like.
The sexy grandma. I am the sexual fairy godmother. Yes, I am. But there wasn't very much happening when I first started, and so it's so nice to see the community like that you have grow up. And Melissa, who I mentored for BodyJoy in Austin, yeah, for about 20 years now, I've been a sex and intimacy coach. And I didn't even know there was this field. I had to get it in a way which was very, very different.
Oh, wow. I can't even imagine that. That's so exciting. And I am a practitioner of BodyJoy Intimacy School, mentoring under the beautiful and fabulous Melissa Davison, who mentored under you. So I feel like so inspired by the beautiful lineage that you both are creating, and just the work that you guys do is so moving. And I'm really excited to be a practitioner under kind of the guidance of your both of your work. So
It's
um
it's definitely getting easier, right? With teachers available, because when I first got interested in sex, Sheba, I was in my mid 50s. I'd been married for 20 years. I had a kid. He was off to college. I taught violin. I used to teach high school. And I realized I moved to my own big city. And what am I going to do? I still need in my mid 50s to make a living. I didn't want to do the things I did before. So I answered an ad to be an escort. Okay.
oh,
I couldn't believe it. And it was a thing that changed my life more than you can imagine, because I went from being not so sure about sexuality, doing it for other people, trying to figure out how to be sweet and coy, and to they were coming, mainly men, to find out what authentically I had to teach them as a sex worker, as a sex teacher. And I stepped up to the plate.
I love it. So first tell me where you were living when you were in the big city. Where you originally from, or where were you living when you decided to take this leap?
When I got the divorce and I'm in my mid 50s, I'm on my own. I have to be in Austin, Texas.
Oh,
And
okay.
that,
So Austin, I love Austin. It's such an amazing city. Tell me what that ad was like. What were you feeling at that time? Like, was it exciting and kind of,
it,
did it feel like something totally outside of what you've ever done?
absolutely. I was like, what am I going to do to make a living now that I'm freshly divorced in a new big city? And I thought, I looked on my end table and I saw 5 or 6 books: The New Age Sexual Healers, Women of the Light.
Oh,
real live nude girls, working women. And I thought, Charlotte, you are interested in sex. And so I
mhm.
saw the back of the Chronicle and it said, earn $5,000 a week, be an escort of Austin. I knew I wouldn't, 5,000 didn't make any difference to me. I called that number, Sheba. I knew if I didn't call that number, I would always regret it. And it started me on the trajectory 20 plus years ago through my education, getting a PhD in sexology, learning about Tantra, teaching workshops, seeing individual clients, seeing the clientele go from just men to women and couples, and seeing how much we need this to be. Sex care is health care. And
Mm,
we need to
that's
bring
so
that
beautiful.
into that. And so I have now, since I don't see as many clients personally anymore, but I've made movies on sex work, like getting into sex work, even if it's through prostitution. It was called Naked at My Age. And it's a play about getting, finding and following your dream, your interest, and then making it good and making it right. And the proceeds to my plays go to decriminalize sex work because we need to
Yes,
conflate it
definitely.
with trafficking and all that stuff. No, elected adult person to person conscious sex, whether there's money involved or not, it's nobody's business but ours, and we should be able to spend our money the way we want to. And we can get the sex trafficking better if we separate the two and let us have our jobs.
And so tell me, what are some of the experiences that you've had at like doing your work? Like, tell me about some of your most moving clients or experiences guiding in this way.
I'm so glad you asked. I just made a second play called Tales of Sex Magic, and I wove 12 of these stories of
Oh,
some very,
wow.
very vulnerable, warm clients together. And so both of these plays are available on my website, charlahathaway.com. And the tales that they won awards. And it's because people don't, who sees a sex worker? Why? What do you do? Can you teach intimacy? And so some of them are like a 68-year-old virgin comes to see me.
Oh,
He's never
wow.
touched a vulva before. He doesn't even touch himself. And he took my erotic massage class in Austin. You know,
Wow.
and there's a woman who wants to be a better erotic masseuse, but she hasn't learned how to receive, how to
Mm.
let men give her erotic massages. There's sometimes it's sex and death. You lose a mate after taking care of them for months or years. How do you go back into your body? How do you trust it? It feels like it's betrayed you. And so all these stories are told in Tales of Sex Magic and Healing, available on my website.
Wow. So can you share some like an experience or two that was like maybe one of your first experiences?
Of seeing clients, I was so amazed because my first clients were men and they were so ready to take direction. And Sheba, I would slow them up. I would take half
Mhm.
an hour to take their clothes off, button by button, and make sure they were breathing, maybe blindfold them, and then let them have a chance to take my clothes off. And if they go to do it too fast, I'd go, oh no, I want to feel the cloth come off my shoulder. So I was getting them to be present and breathing and being in the moment. And I was also showing them their own body and how to receive. And for a man, he has a prostate. He has
Mhm.
his own internal uh, uh, equipment, you might say,
Yeah.
every bit as good as ours. And yet he's been taught, oh no, it's in the wrong place, or don't do that, or that's just for gay men, or whatever. But men are naturally curious. And when they get to find out more about their own body, their own pleasure, how to feel it and enjoy it, I always felt that was my job. I would teach classes in erotic massage for men, and I would demonstrate prostate massage so that they get to enjoy themselves as much as we do.
Oh, I love that. And do you think that a lot of men that you've worked with are kind of new, like that's a new experience for them, like something that maybe they've avoided or shied away from?
Yes, yes, especially younger men. Sometimes the older men are a little bit more ready for that because they're not so cock-centered and their cock isn't always working all the time, foolproof, whenever, whatever. So they can learn to take a little bit more breather space and relax and maybe let somebody else explore their body. And I always do it with gloves as a protocol or whatever. But I just love it when people have ahas about learning about their own body. And for couples too, when couples come together, get to play the 3-minute game where they get to find out about each other for the first
Hmm.
time, a lot of times.
And so tell me what kind of tools you would bring into your session. You mentioned Tantra. Is that a big part of kind of some of the work that you would do? Would you use Tantra?
Yes, but I think beyond Tantra, I really like Betty Martin's work in The Wheel of Consent. And I
Mhm.
really use this with people because what we're not good at is knowing what we like.
Yes, I
We-
love Betty Martin so much. Tell the audience, if they've never heard of Betty, like what is the Wheel of Consent and how have you like been able to utilize that with clients?
Betty does some great things, and she's got this new book called The Art of Giving and Receiving. So, what it is all of us are good givers. We're
Mhm.
not very good receivers. And so we always think we need to give more, give better, and that's going to be the better sex. But really, what we need, the skill we need, is to receive. So what
Mm.
I do, and this is some of Betty's work, is I divide up the touch for you, for me. And we learn to take turns in kindergarten, right? So I get 3 minutes, and it's for me. And maybe I'm going to paint on your body, or maybe I'll have you paint on mine. But the experience is for me. I'm responsible to have it be the way I want it. I choose it. Somebody is just basically serving me. And then when it's their turn, um, it takes all the guesswork out. And you're not
Yeah.
having to figure out, oh, hey, would you just read my mind because I'm too ashamed to really say it. So you get a lot of practice, and I divide it down to just small segments of time, 3 minutes. And we even start non-sexually, just to exercise that muscle of being able to say, I think I'd like you to brush my hair. I want you to give me little
Mhm.
kisses on my face, but not on my lips. And oh, I want to feel those fingernails come down this way. Or what about sucking my toes? And so learning to ask for different things. Couples get to finally know each other without the boredom of using the same guessing game to hope to get okay results. Okay is no longer good, it has to be fabulous. And it's through great erotic communication skills. And they're learnable. You teach them, I teach them. Um, and it changes the game. I just had a man over last night, and we got out the massage table, and we each got a half an hour to design our experience.
Oh, I love it. I love it. And like people, I think people don't know that they can do this, that they can really slow things down and have like a really like pleasurable evening of different sensations. And it's such a gift to be able to kind of give that as an exercise for me for clients, or to even do that with my partner. It's just like so delicious to not do the normal go to, which is also lovely. Like that's what's my favorite thing is there's not just one way to have sex. There's so many ways that you can enjoy sex, and it doesn't have to be penetration.
Oh, Sheba, you really hit the nail on the head. And what's so cool, I used to think for many years, even in being a sex worker, that good sex was about those little neat things we did, rose petals in the bathtub, or the kiss behind the knee, or the little tricks. Good sex is the ability to decide what you want on your body, what you want to give or take, and be clear with that, and be authentic with that, and to stay with that. It's the ability to choose, and it's the wellspring of erotic joy and wealth.
Mm.
And that it comes from a confidence that we all deserve pleasure, and we
Yes.
can slow that up, like what you were saying, and we can express ourselves. And it's hard for women because we've been taught a long time in the patriarchy to like things or go along with things that we didn't really care for that much or go along with. And so we've been trained kind of to just let it be. Well, maybe next time I'll correct it or get more of what I want. And so it's taking the bull by the horns and saying, no, there is next time. No, next time. This is it. And I'm
Yeah,
going to
I'm
step up to the plate.
for me, I really came into I mean, I feel like I love the lotus flower as a symbol for me, and like I really feel like my sexuality, it keeps on blooming. Like there's so much like as I age that I'm coming into, and I definitely have hit moments in my sexuality where um I've been like, you know what, I think I need more. I want to learn more. I want to try more. I want to experience more. And I think like a lot of people, it's almost like a wall. They like are like, I need more than what I've already been doing, and I'm ready to explore and kind of learn new things.
You know, you just mentioned that maturity, that aging, what you can come
Mhm.
into, and you realize you want more depth and more. And I think aging is such a, and I'm looking at 70, okay? Aging is such a perfect thing,
Yes.
and which men slow up so they can finally like enjoy their orgasms or feel a whole body awakening and newness.
Mm,
It doesn't have to be so centered really on da da wiggle wiggle pop. and
right.
and women, they usually come more into their power, taking the egg timer off their orgasm and deciding, oh, this is really what I want. I'm going to express it. So men want intimacy and they slow up, and women are willing to step forward a little bit, take a little bit of the lead. And that's such fertile ground in aging. It
Mm.
has so much more depth, compassion, and wealth than in younger years. And older people need to tell younger folks that. So there it goes.
Yes, and I think that that's one of the things that I am really inspired by is this, as we age, as women come into their, maturity, like there's no discussion really. No one really hands you like a pamphlet at the doctor's office, at the gynecologist's office, and says, this is what it's going to be like as you age, as you become, more mature. And so, like, do a lot of women come to you for guidance around like how to explore new ways as like an older woman, or do you have clients who just feel lost being, in a different kind of relationship, point?
Yes, a lot of them come because of the way the sexuality changes as we age. We don't eat the same diet we ate, or, we exercise different, we do sex different, our body's different, the mechanics are different. And so there's such a richness to be mined. And my mother never said the word menopause, okay? Because women are kind of disappear and aren't supposed to be seen almost unless they're that sex kitten. So when menopause hit me in 50, okay, that's almost 20 years ago, I was shocked, Sheba. I was like feeling high on the top of my cycle without ever having to dip down into that, oh, let me hang on here for a couple days while the flow is pretty heavy or whatever. It was like my temperature got warmer, not just the hot flashes, which I called, messages from the goddess. My whole body felt warmer, which for me, the little skinny cold kid, was perfect. My temperature changed. I stopped eating as much because you don't need as much. You can feel that change. I felt great all the time. And I still, lubrication was fine because instead of going it along to the man's routine or schedule, I made it mine. And I
Mm.
have a mantra, and I'm going to share with you my mantra.
Ooh.
This is so important. And women, when I do this at bachelorette parties, they stand up with their wine glasses and they go, my mantra is, unless my panties are wet, I mean wet, they don't come off.
Yes. Yes,
And
thank
so
you.
in this age, I don't even need lube. I am fine. And I think the messages we get about menopause being dried up and old and da 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 are the wrong messages. You
I
find your
agree.
own. Yeah.
Yeah, I think that there's a lot of a lot of myths and a lot of bad messaging around aging because some women get even more orgasmic as they age. Some women get even more juicy as they age. You know, like not everyone has the same experience, and there's this wide range of how women go through, you know, their menopause. And but I feel like there's so much that's not talked about. And so like I really want to hold space for women who are going through changes and have a place for them to talk to. And that's what I'm really inspired by, is working with women. Have you worked with a lot of women around like aging?
Yes, yes. And when I first started my practice, it was mainly men, and then when I stopped it, it was mainly women. And it just shows this growth that all of us. I mean, sex opened up in my 50s like it had never opened up before, and
Mm.
stays and has stayed just very, very high, very, very wonderful. Um, not all of it is the same. Sometimes my orgasms don't feel as strong. I still do my Kegels or whatever, but they come more easily, and I'm just much more loving of myself and accepting of myself. And that's the person I bring into a partnership, into a bedroom.
Mm.
I bring that person there. And so your love, Sheba, of bringing women, we're such keys. I mean, we're kind of the complicated ones. We're the nuanced ones. I play violin in the orchestra, and the men are the trumpets, and the women are the French horns with their hand in the bell for the
Yeah.
headphones. And French horns have 27 feet of tubings, and the trumpet has 3. And you want those two brass instruments to make music together, right?
Yeah.
You're going to have to put some consciousness to that.
Mm.
Aging does that beautifully.
I love that. And so when did you begin doing these plays? Like, was it like you were at, staying up at night and they just kind of poured out of you and you were up late at night writing all of your experiences? Or has this been something that you've been
Oh
doing
my
over
gosh,
time?
I'm so glad for my experiences with clients that I would write, and I hope you are too, Sheba, write a few notes, what their sharebacks are at the end, what their aha was, maybe a quote that they had. I'm so glad I took those kind of notes because I used them.
Yeah.
So what happened is I mentored Melissa for BodyJoy, and you're connected there. And then I moved to Portland, Oregon from Austin to be a grandma. And
Mm.
so in being a grandma, I thought, what do I want to do now? I wrote one play, Naked at My Age, a year ago. It won an award. I wrote my second play, Tales of Sex
Yeah.
Magic. And
Celebrate you.
thank you. And so now it is through my plays that I'm telling my stories.
Wow. And so what are people's response to these plays? Like, do people come up to you and like share their stories, and are they moved by the play?
Absolutely, especially women, it seems like, because I'm kind of that prototype saying, yeah, go for it, be it, don't be shamed, bring it out. Now, COVID kind of hit for my second one, so it's mainly been on a video. Um, but that idea of bringing into the arena of plays and festivals sexuality as a theme, because we can do so much more healing in groups even than just one on
Mm.
one. So, if somebody says, Charla, you reinvented erotic storytelling, it's not always the chains and the floggers, just the heart and the vulnerability and the
Mm.
tears of your clients. That's erotic storytelling. So that's what Tales of Sex, Magic, and Healing is.
Oh, I love that. Yeah, my background was what led me to kind of my, awakening was being in the Vagina Monologues, which is monologues about women and about their stories of their sexuality, some good, some not good, but all really heartfelt and moving and
Did they
inspiring.
come up to
And
you afterwards, that kind of
oh
thing?
yeah, no, people were very moved by it, but this is, I feel like, even it's so next level because it's so personal to your life and your experiences, and it must feel like such a I don't know, like a just a big checklist, of like this is, your life purpose of like sharing these beautiful gifts and experiences that you've had. Like, does it feel like just so beautiful to share that with people?
I just wanted to normalize sex work.
Mm.
I wanted to make it seem like, yeah, hey, these people, hey, that teacher, she's just a teacher. She's taking an erotic massage class. Interesting.
Yeah, that's the way it should be.
And it's like, no big deal. And I just want, so the people who seek a sexual help and the people who provide it, this is such a wonderful aspect of total well-being. Look at all the lives that get screwed up and stuff because of the secrecy and the coercion and the
Yeah.
and the force and the lying about it.
Yep.
Come on, let's make this be something that can evolve and is organic and is
Mhm.
real. So that was the idea behind my plays, of making it seem accessible and just seem natural and normal, to be curious about your sexuality and to seek even help and other people to continue that journey on.
Yeah, I think that just knowing, no, for people to just know that there is help that they can get. I think a lot of people, what you hit on, the secrecy is so big. It's like people carry around what they're struggling with, and they take it on as like their own dysfunction, and they don't realize that there's sex coaches and intimacy coaches and love coaches and sexologists and sex therapists and so many resources out there where they can actually take the things that they are, struggling with, and lean into them and find healing and opening and expand their own experiences.
And thank you, Sheba, for what you do along these lines, the things you offer, your podcasts, your interviews, because I've had so many people say, am I normal if,
Mhm.
and it's so, oftentimes I hear somebody say something I think they never said out loud before. I go, yes, we're normal. We're all normal. This erotic mind and whatever, so much more nuanced and curious and open than we could ever hopefully imagine. Look what kind of critters we've become, you know?
Oh, yes, yes. Let your freak flags fly. Just be who you are. Thank you so much, Charla. It has just been such a treat to have you on. And this is a platform so that people can learn about sex and what kind of offerings other practitioners have. And even though, are you still working one-on-one with clients?
I do. Mhm.
Yes, Charla is in Portland, right? Portland, Oregon. And not only does she work one-on-one with clients, but she is going to be performing not only live in person, but she does virtual video experience of watching the play, and then you donate proceeds, don't you?
Right,
Yeah.
to decriminalize sex work. So
Yeah.
a movie night where we can watch our movies all together online, which is kind of fun.
Yeah,
You
so
know, I think that was,
we'll share the link below so that people can find you and follow you. And what kind of treats do you have on your Patreon if people want to support your Patreon?
oh yes, I love my Patreon. I'm in touch with them a couple times a month with some little juicy morsel of some experience maybe I've even just learned. And I had a little series on there called Naked Yoga. Yeah,
Ooh,
they're just 1.5 minute yoga lessons. Pretty, it's fun. I
ooh.
love my Patreon. Join me on Patreon, Charla Hathaway.
Oh, I love it. I will. And everybody who's watching, go and follow Charla Hathaway right now and check out her upcoming movie nights and follow her Patreon. And last words, Charla, if you could give one gift tonight to the people who are watching, one little gem of advice, what would you like to tell them?
I'd say hold your heart, hold your genitals, those two great parts of your body, and just send a sweetness to them with your breath.
Yes, thank you so much for joining us on Sheba's Spice Rack, and thank you so much for everybody who's watching at home. And we will see you soon for the next episode. Thank you, Charla, for joining us. Have a
Nice to get
wonderful
to know
evening.
you more. I just loved it.
I know
Thank
I
you.
adore you. Thank you so much for joining the show, and have a great night.
Thank you. Bye bye.